April 1985, the Armenians objected to the reconstruction policy of Secretary General of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the USSR, Mikhail Gorbachev, and made benefit from the meetings and strikes held in different republics for their insidious intentions aimed at leaving the USSR. Armenia and the leaders of Dashnakcutюнь party living in foreign countries used as pretext the chaos in the country and violation of rights of the Armenians living in Azerbaijan and created the problem of Nagorno-Karabakh. So undeclared Armenian-Azerbaijan war started. What the Armenians wanted in reality. You consider those who call themselves intellectuals think of us? No, they only think about the lands. They need Nagorno-Karabakh for this purpose. This is one of the sections in KGB and Vlast book of first deputy chairman of the USSR State Security Committee Philip Popkov dealing with the Sumgait events. Yes, the Armenians pretended to the territories. This became a great wish and national illness of the Armenian intellectuals, state officials, violent chauvinists, so-called Democrats, and even of ordinary workers. The matter was to widen the Armenian territories. This is how the appeals of the Dashnak party impressed the people. Yes, they needed more lands for realizing their illusion of Great Armenia. They started to use backstairs politics for the realization of this illusion. 20 years ago in February 1988, the Armenian chauvinists committed bloody action with the support of the Dashnakcutюнь party, as a result of which 32 were slain. 26 of them were the Armenians, and 6 the representatives of other nations. They tried to introduce the Azerbaijanis as bandits, bloodsuckers, and cruel. What was in the root of the events occurred in Sumqayit? Why they chose just Sumqayit? Let's first of all look through the chronology of the events. It's strange that after Mikhail Gorbachev was elected the head of state, he pursued pro-Armenian policy and collected the Armenians around himself. He appointed Shakhnazarov on political issues, Agambekyan on economic issues, and Sitaryan on planning issues. They started to make active efforts for realizing their land pretensions through the instrumentality of Gorbachev. First of all, they planned to remove first deputy chairman of the Council of Ministers of the USSR and member of political bureau Heydar Aliyev from the political arena because he didn't let the realization of this purpose of the Armenians. In November of that year, academician Agambekyan made a speech before the Armenian community in Paris. He made a statement stressing the expedience of taking Nagorno-Karabakh from Azerbaijan and appending to Armenia. Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, member of the Political Bureau, chief architect of the reconstruction, Alexander Yakovlev. Yes, Agambekyan didn't make a speech in Paris at his own initiative. It couldn't be possible without the blessing of Gorbachev. The USSR and world mass medias started pre-arranged promulgation policy. Pro-Armenian Borovik, deceived academician Sakharov, Starovoytova and others supported this policy inside the country and the Armenian lobby abroad. In December 1987, Gorbachev met with the Armenian community in America. The Armenian lobby gave valuable gifts to Gorbachev and his spouse. This was the consent of Gorbachev on the soonest solution of Nagorno-Karabakh matter in favor of the Armenians. After this bargain, mass rallies were held in different regions of Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh.
Nernayin Qarabağ, Anjamanak Nayev Zangezura, Nachitschewan, Hayastanin.
5,000 persons assembled before the district party committee in Stepanakert on February 13th. Akopyan and Gabrielyan, who were in reception in Central Committee in Moscow, made speeches before the meeting held in Stepanakert on February 18th, where 10,000 people participated in. They said Moscow supports them and Nagorno-Karabakh problem will soon be resolved in favor of the Armenians. Protest meetings started in Baku city and other regions. Current society was established in Nagorno-Karabakh under the leadership of chauvinist Menucharov. With the demand of this society, the sessions of the Soviets of People's Deputies were called in Nagorno-Karabakh province as well as in all its regions. Only one matter was topical: to take Nagorno-Karabakh from Azerbaijan and append to Armenia. Moscow didn't react to this anti-constitutional decision. Yes, the Armenians needed lands. Mass deportation of the Azerbaijanis from their historical lands in Armenia started. The Armenians killed 2 Azerbaijani youth in Askeran on February 22nd. The following quote dealing with that incident is from KGB and Vlast book of Philip Popkov. We can argue again who started first, the Azerbaijani side or the Armenian. But there exists an indigested array of facts. The first victims were the Azerbaijanis. This stirred up hostility between the two nations even more. Mass rally was held in Sumgait on February 26. The speeches made called on to defend the rights of the Azerbaijanis.